Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly team Zoom. I'm Deanna Scalf, and there's David Scalf, our presidential upline leaders. This is always a very informal training, so, you see us with messy hair, sweats on, no makeup. It's all good. That's tidy whities. I hope not. It's one of the things I love the most about this business is that I don't have to be in a dress or heels or, I don't have to be anything other than who I am, which is not a fancy pants girl. So our topic this week is your why. And actually, Jana McCarthy was going to handle this this week's Zoom, but she ended up having to fill in for her job because her boss is out of town. So since this is something that I've talked about quite a few times before, I'll just go ahead and talk about it some more. So we're talking about our why. And something to keep in mind is that this is really, 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 really important to your business. And here come the interruptions. Let's see who's calling. That's a David work call. So I'll just start with, if you've been at some of these different trainings, you may have heard me talk about this before. I know Shauna has. She was sort of a catalyst to part of this talk that I've given before. So, and I did a YouTube video on it as well. But you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You're able to say to yourself, I've lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. That's my very favorite quote. I hear about fear all the time. I feel like fear is the biggest factor in people not being successful with this business, or honestly anything for that matter. It stops us from doing so many things. It has stopped me from going on many adventures. One that I overcame was scuba diving. I had a tremendous fear of being underwater, but I overcame that fear, and now that fear is not a factor anymore. So it is extremely empowering to face a fear and to overcome it. So I encourage you, anytime that you are put in the position to having to face a fear, like being asked to speak at a One Team, One Mission. A couple of you on here are going to be doing just that on Saturday. If that's something that's fearful for you, say yes. Make this your yes year and kick that fear to the curb. What gets me past a fear is having a why. That's the thing that, excuse me, that's going to propel you to success with this business or in life for that matter. And always plan on your why changing, because as you grow, it's just the natural progression that it's going to change. Maybe your why initially was just a paycheck. It was for me, but it's become so much more than that. And something that really touches me is when I watch any of you grow and overcome different fears and become stronger, more confident, more empowered women especially, but men also. So that is a huge why for me, to be able to see that kind of growth in all of you. If I don't have a big enough why, or I'm unsure of what my why is, when a fear comes or when things go sideways, what's going to get me past that bump in the road or that roadblock? My why needs to be very specific, and it needs to be bigger than that roadblock or that fear. And what I have shared before is that I will very likely never jump out of an airplane because there just isn't a big enough why for me to want to do that. The only big enough why I can think of is that one of my babies is falling out of that plane and I need to jump out of it to save them. But beyond that, there just isn't any big enough reason for me to want to overcome that fear. So that's probably not going to happen. So think about what your why is regarding this business and keep it in front of you all the time, and go back to that when tough times come, because I promise they will. The rewards with this business are so tremendous that you can't even really wrap your brain around it. And those rewards aren't going to just fall into your lap with no effort and no struggle. So I always encourage everybody, embrace the test. You hear me say that a lot. Embrace the test, embrace the struggle, because that means you're on the right path. If stuff does start going sideways on you, embrace it and laugh at it if you possibly can, because that should tell you that you are in the right place, you're doing the right thing, and you're just being tested to see if you're worthy. So here's some tips to help you find your deeper why, and being specific is really important. I hear all the time, my family is my why, and that's great, and that's what should be your why. But what does that mean exactly? And also, never let that why be your excuse. So we hear all the time, I'm doing this for my family, and then we hear, oh, I can't make it to that training because of my kids. I can't spend, this much time on social media because I have to spend time with my kids. So you need to dig down and be really, really specific about that why, so that it helps you to keep on track, so that when your kids are bugging you and wanting some mommy time, you can say, it's okay, give me a few minutes. I've got a little bit of work to do, and then I'll spend some time with you. And I'm doing this for you, and specifically for this for you. So jot these down. I will post this as a recording, and this is on the YouTube video as well. And I will get to questions as soon as I run through these. So you guys can ask away and share your whys if you so choose. So what amount of money do you want to make? And be really specific about that. What amount of money and why that amount of money? If it's $500 a month, then write down what that $500 a month actually means to you. Is that a car payment? Is that your rent payment? Is that new tires on your car? Is that dance lessons for your kids? What is that? What does that mean for you? What places would you like to visit in the world? Be specific. I've seen a lot of you post different places that you've added to your dream board. Jana and I are going to Sweden, Norway, all those Scandinavian places, because we've got relatives that still live there, and I know that's on both of our dream boards. So the places that you would like to visit and who you'd like to take with you. Maybe it's Disneyland, and plan out that day. Get online with your kids and plan out that trip to Disneyland, and get a Disneyland map, put it on your dream board, help them be a part of this process so that they have something tangible when you say, Mommy's got to work for a few minutes here. Remember, because I'm working so that we can take that trip to Disneyland. What would your perfect day look like? So what time would you wake up? Who would you spend your day with? Where would you go? What would you do? I would spend it on the beach doing a whole lot of nothing with as many of you as I could possibly get to join me. What do you want to look like? There's absolutely nothing wrong with vanity. It's something that I got lots of vanity related items on my dream board. I mean, even as little as getting your hair and nails done, Lori Conway, who's one of the top money earners in this company, started with It Works just to earn enough money to be able to get her nails done. So, hey, it's okay if you just want that money for yourself, so you don't have to ask the hubby for it or whatever to get your hair done. It's, costs a little bit to keep this all up. If that's something that makes you feel good, then more power to you. I will have an appointment with the orthodontist to get my bottom teeth straightened as soon as I have the time to make that happen. So nothing wrong with being a little bit vain. What do you want to give back to the world? And prior to It Works, that was not on my radar at all. So this company and the people in this company have opened my eyes to really thinking about giving back and what that looks like. I'm really excited for our One Team, One Mission on Saturday. We've chosen a local charity called Crazy Faith, really fitting name. They do a ton of good for the local community there in Olympia, feed the homeless, all sorts of wonderful things. So it makes me feel really good to be a small part of that. And I have a lot more of that I want to do, and I hope you guys do too. There's so many worthy causes out there and right in your own community. So think about that. Put that on your dream board. Keep that in front of you all the time. What people can you help? Wait, that's not right. What people can help you get to where you want to go? So what does that look like? Not using people as stepping stones or using them in any way, shape, or form. But there's a lot of different ways to look at that. Like each of us, like I couldn't do what I'm doing without every one of you. It takes a huge team to build an ambassador team. So who can help you get to where you want to go? Everybody on your team. Think about people that you want to add to your team. Think about the people that you want to surround yourself with. Sideline leaders. Melody McFarland is a great one. If you can ever get around her in person, highly recommend it. What are things you would like to have? And no different than vanity, wanting material things is not a bad thing unless it's the only thing. So I work hard so that I can enjoy my life. I want to have a nice, comfortable house. I want to drive a nice, safe, comfortable vehicle. I didn't get my first new vehicle until 2009, I think it was. We went for a lot of years with used cars, and many times used cars that didn't like to run all the time. Thank goodness my husband is a great mechanic. So what does that look like for you? If you are considering a vehicle for your dream board, what kind? What color? What's the interior going to look like? What kind of bells and whistles is it going to have? Do you want a sunroof? Who is the first person you're going to put in the passenger seat of that vehicle? Where are you going to drive to? So really think about that. Go look at some new cars if you need to. Go lick the leather, like Joel Dunn likes to say. If you want a new house, what's that house look like? Whatever it is, do you like jewelry? What kind of jewelry do you want? Get really specific. What are things that you would like to do? Maybe you want to go skydiving. I was just watching a show, and this gal, she's probably a little bit older than me. She was getting her pilot's license. It was something that was always on her bucket list? What is something like that that you might want to do? It actually looked like a lot of fun. It's something that would scare the crud out of me, but it looked a little bit interesting. Maybe you want to learn how to scuba dive. Highly recommended. Go do it if you ever have the opportunity. Whatever it is, what would you like to do? I think a lot of times we don't even allow ourselves to think about these things because we don't really believe that we're ever going to have the opportunity to do some of these things. But because of this business, you absolutely do have that opportunity. What amount of money do you want to have in savings? That's a big one. I think probably the majority of the American population has this much in savings, a big fat goose egg. So think about what that looks like. I'm working toward having a good solid 6 figures in my savings account. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Think about that. Like, what would that look like? What would you do? What do you want people to think of when they think of you? I want people to think positively of me. I want them to think, wow, I remember Deanna Scalf graduating high school, 9 months pregnant, married at 17. We never thought she was ever going to make much of herself. Look at her now. Look at all the people. Look at all the people whose lives have been changed. Because she said yes to a silly little rap thing. Didn't think this one was going to make me emotional. Good grief. Who do you want to spend most of your time with? For me, I have been really blessed because of this business, and I get to spend the majority of my time with the people already that I want to spend my time with, and that's my family. I would like to spend more time with all of you and with my extended family. I know Jana and I have talked about this for quite some time, that we would like to get a picture with all of our siblings. Because for me, there are 9 of us all together because of divorced parents. I have 3 brothers on my mom's side, and then I've got a whole bunch more on my dad's side. So I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. And to my knowledge, there's not a picture in existence of all of us together. So that's a huge dream of mine. And I would love to spend a lot more time with all of my extended family together, like on a beach somewhere would be awesome. And lastly, but most importantly, what makes you come alive? What are you passionate about? The word inspire comes from the Latin meaning to breathe life into. So when you're working toward things that inspire you, it literally makes you feel more alive. What makes you come alive isn't referring to taking your dream vacation or buying a new car. It's bigger than that. I'm talking about a why that moves from being about you to being about something bigger than you. It's about connecting with what you're passionate about, knowing that when you focus your attention on endeavors that put a fire in your belly, you grow your impact and influence in ways that nothing else can. And remember also that a fulfilling purpose isn't a prerequisite of action, but it is a catalyst for it. So spend some time answering those questions, and you'll likely find your why, and that should help get you moving to action quickly and help you to continue moving even when you don't feel like it. I don't remember who it was at conference said, gosh, and I can't remember what the quote was, and I was going to put it on my mirror, and I still haven't done it. Ashley Sinclair just talked about it, about, shoot, I'm going to do this whether I feel like it or not, but that wasn't it. Gosh darn it, I'm going to find it and post it on the team page because I really, really loved it. Obviously, I need it right here in front of me on a Post-it. But remember, your why is going to help you to do that thing you think you cannot do. So that's all I got of that. Now that you guys got me all bally. Jeez. So you guys are welcome to unmute. And I would love to hear anybody who would like to share if I'm going to build my business, whether I feel like it or not. It was something like that, but it was a little something more. But yes, that was sort of along those lines for sure. But if you're willing to share your why or anything that you want to share, you're more than welcome to. So raise a hand or unmute yourself and share away. Will.
Hey, so I have many, many whys. As most of you know, I'm beyond crazy busy. But I think the one that really is the most motivational is because somebody said I can't. Somebody told me that a man would never succeed in this business. And, well, sorry, ladies, we're all adults here, but I gave him the finger. And 3 years later, we're still here and still doing it. So
Right
that's my
on.
why.
Hey, I am highly motivated by people telling me not to or that I can't do something. I'm like, go ahead. But David knows if he wants me to do something, he's got to be pretty tricky about it. But I learned that a long time ago. My mom told me don't, and I did. So, and you're in the right place at the right time. And I know you know that, Will, but we're going to see a whole lot more men up at the top in the next few years, I guarantee you. And you're going to be one of them. Miranda.
Hello. Most of you know that my huge
You're cutting out.
my family, and so seriously, that's still my focal point. We own a couple of small businesses. We want to get away from those. We need to spend time with the kids and have the money to buy the things that we want to have. We want our home, period. That's the stuff we want the kids to have. And the money in the bank account. So we can go, yeah, let's go on vacation. Yeah, let's go do this. And not have it be a worry anymore. And this so much is right here.
Right on. Yep, for
so
sure.
That is the huge, yes, I want my income to be at that level.
Awesome. You're cutting out. We don't have a very good connection, I think, is the problem. But I think we got the gist of it. Okay, Shauna found it. Hang on, Marilee, you'll be next. I'm going to, don't work this business based upon how you feel. Work this business based upon what you want. I love that so much. Thanks, Shauna, for finding that. All right, Miss Marilee.
Hey, so
Hi.
I know some of you guys saw the video I made a few weeks ago about my why, but it actually, sorry, I get kind of emotional, but I said that I have over 80,000 in student debt right now, and I actually added it up. It's going to be more than that. It's going to be closer to like 93,000 for my 4-year degree. So I'm 22 and almost 100 grand in debt. So sorry. So that's my biggest why. Because we're going to have to move in with my in-laws in June because, once the student loans kick in, we're not going to be able to afford our rent. So that's something that I really want to build up this business so that we can, have a home and even buy a home. and not be in this, financial mess. So that's my biggest why at this point.
That's awesome. And you're so not alone. I mean, we see it on the virtual party every single week. That's one of the top things that people say they would do with the income from this business is pay off student loans. And it's crazy to me that you end up so stinking far in debt and, good luck getting a job that's really, truly going to help you pay off that student loan debt. So I'm so glad you're here. You're going to be such a great inspiration, especially at your age. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
So we'll do whatever we can to keep you out of your in-laws.
Because I love them, but I want to be on our own.
Well, exactly. I hear
Mhm.
ya. I love all my kids. I don't want them living at my house.
Mhm.
Leanne, did you want to share? I see your hand up. You're muted. There you go.
Few years ago, about 3 years ago, right about the time I started It Works the first time, we ended up getting foreclosed on our house. And then yesterday, I'm going to get emotional, we had our van repossessed. And I don't ever want to feel like this again. And that's mostly my why right now.
Yeah, praying for you. I saw that yesterday. And I feel like that it's one of those tests. Don't you feel that? Like you're being tested right now.
Yep, and I'm working hard. I already signed one loyal customer tonight, and I have possibly 3 more signing in the next day or 2.
Well, you're rocking it. So the success you're having and the test you're having tell me like twofold that you are in the right place and it is the right time for you. Thank you for sharing. Tina.
Okay. Am I unmuted? There we go.
Yes.
My big why, as I know some of you know, my job is moving me to Dallas. I don't like being subject to their whims about where I live. Not that Dallas is a bad place. We got to go this past weekend and go see it. And the kids have decided it's not a horrible place to live. But it's not where I want to live. And that's kind of been, it's been my main impetus trying to get this going as much as I can. But of course, the move is limiting the amount of time I have to spend on it. Not an excuse, it's just reality. For the last 2 weeks, I've been into the office none of the time. Between the one conference and going down to Dallas, I haven't even barely been home. But it is my big reason why at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I would have a real hard time, which is why I haven't had a real job since I was a teenager. With anybody telling me what to do, when to do it, where to be. So I feel you, girl. We're getting there. Ruby is in your sights.
Yes, and I will get there.
For sure. All right, who else do we got? Let's see. Cassie, did you want to talk or did you have your hand raised from earlier? Oh, and I see Sheila. So Cassie's unmuted.
A little bit of both. A couple of things, because it popped in my head when you were talking. I know my why when I started was to take the kids on a vacation, and we did that in the first few months, which was awesome. And now we've been traveling a lot, which is really nice. But one of the ways, because I know we've talked about focusing on your why to help you overcome your fears. And one way that I've learned and really enjoy doing is if you guys have like a flipgram or an audio, because looking at a picture just doesn't do it for me. I have to listen to it. It has to make my heart race. And then I can go and call all these leads or, talk to 100 people. It just builds that adrenaline, because that's what I'm feeling, why I'm talking to these people. So I just wanted to share that as an idea of how to post your why, or just save it in your phone.
Good idea. Love it. Sheila. Sheila, you are muted. There you go.
I'm having issues, but it's been a crazy day. My why, as many of you already know, is my husband's health. But more than that, it's being able to allow him to get to do the things that he might have to do. If we don't do this now, his health isn't great. And he has dreams and places he wants to go and things he wants to do. And I want to see him do them, and I want to do them with him and know that when it is his time to go, that he didn't miss out and that he doesn't feel like he missed out on things because of his health issues.
For sure. It's like, you know, we all sort of have bucket lists, and unfortunately our bucket lists are kind of led by our finances. And wouldn't it be nice to be able to mark everything off of those lists and not have to worry about where the money is going to come from to do that? We're praying for you guys. I hope you feel better, Sheila.
I'm trying.
All right. Anybody else? And Brandy Buckler signing a DT, rock star.
Yep. I'm here with her right now. We're getting ready to sign her up.
Yay!
So I'm going to show you guys. This is Amanda. She's.
Hello.
Oh, wait, where'd it go?
Can you see her?
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to
That's
the
Amanda.
adventure.
Joining our team.
Yay! That's awesome. All right, guys. Anybody else want to share? Okay, Lisa is sharing. Why is wanting to retire yourself and your husband at some point in the future? For sure. Been there, done that. It's a lot of fun. I have a picture to post because our grandson is, our daughter lives 5 minutes away, so the kids are here all the time. You guys pretty much know that, but our grandson is staying with us for the week. He just messaged me and said, can I come over and stay for a week? Like, yeah, sure. And it's so nice to have the ability to say, yeah, sure, and not have to worry about who's going to get him to school or who's going to pick him up. And that, you know, there's somebody here all the time to hang out with him while he still wants to hang out with us. Hopefully you can't hear me talking. He's probably standing at the door, but he's 14 and I don't expect he's going to want to hang out with us forever and ever, but I don't know. We're pretty cool, so maybe he will. But there is no better feeling. Like, who do you want to spend all your time with? Your kids, your grandkids. Mary knows. Mary's expecting another grandbaby any minute now.
Woo
And
woo.
who wouldn't want to spend all their time loving on their grandbabies? There's nothing better in this world. So that's a huge thank you to It Works for allowing us to have that opportunity. And basically being able to co-parent our grandchildren. Like, they think of us just like we're their parents. So what a blessing that is. It's not something I ever got to experience, although I would have loved to have spent more time with my grandparents. They all were still working when I was younger. So anybody have anything else they want to share? All
This
right.
was a great meeting.
It was really good. Oh, and couple things. Well, I'm going to sign off the recording, but don't anybody go anywhere because I want to share a couple upcoming notifications with you. So thank you all for sharing your why.